There's something you're doing right now. Something so small, so subtle, so invisible that you don't even know you're doing it. It doesn't show up on your face. It doesn't show up on your to-do list, and no one in your life would ever know it's happening. But this one mistake is quietly blocking your energy, limiting your opportunities, and shape your reality in ways you never realized. You're not doing it consciously because right now, in the background, your mind is broadcasting a signal that is either pulling your dream life closer or pushing it further away. Not metaphorically, not spiritually, not poetically, literally, biologically, energetically, and psychologically. The only reason this mistake ruins people's lives is because it hides itself inside of normal. Everyone does it. Everyone thinks it's harmless. Everyone thinks, that's just how I am. But when we zoom out, when we follow the thread from the past, through the present, into your future, you realize this mistake is the silent architect of your entire identity. It decides what you think is possible. It decides what you believe you deserve. It decides what you attract and what you repel. And most importantly, it decides whether your energy flows or stays stuck and stagnant. So to understand the mistake, we have to start with a story. A true story you've lived 1,000 times. Imagine this. You walk into a room. You don't say anything. You don't do anything. You're just there. Someone across the room glances at you. And somehow, without you speaking, they instantly form an opinion about you. Something they pick up on. We brush it off as intuition, or vibes, or energy, or presence. But science calls it something very different. Your brain is constantly sending out emotional and cognitive signals. Micro-expressions, muscle tension, breath patterns, pupil dilation, and even changes in your electromagnetic and biochemical fields. All driven by one thing: the thoughts and emotions you're not admitting you have. Because here's where it gets fascinating. Your internal state affects your decision-making. In other words, your internal broadcast shapes the world you think you're reacting to. You're not just living life, you're transmitting it. This is the real secret behind manifestation, the part no one explains correctly. It's not ask the universe and receive. It's what you repeatedly broadcast becomes your identity, and your identity becomes your reality. But before we get to the mistake that blocks that broadcast, we need to go deeper into how this signal works. Let me introduce you to something extremely powerful inside your brain. The reticular activating system. You've probably heard of it. But 99% of people only understand the surface version. The RAS shows you what you focus on. That's true, but incomplete. The real function is much broader, much stranger, and much more important. Your RAS is the filter between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. It decides what you notice, what you ignore, what emotions get amplified, what emotions get suppressed, what information feels true, what information feels wrong, and what thoughts repeat automatically. Basically, your RAS creates the illusion of your reality. Here's the twist. Your RAS doesn't filter based on what you want. It filters based on what you believe. And this is where the mistake begins. Because what you believe doesn't come from goals, or journaling, or affirmations, or manifestations. It comes from something older, something deeper, something more encrypted. Let's jump back, not to childhood, but to a moment you didn't realize changed everything. A moment when you experienced an emotion, but you didn't fully feel it. Maybe you were embarrassed, rejected, overlooked, shamed, ignored. Maybe something small. A comment, a look, a moment made you feel unsafe, unworthy, unseen, or not enough. It didn't matter if it was dramatic. Humans don't store events. We store meaning. And whatever meaning your younger self attached to that moment became a subconscious broadcast, a silent signal, a background program. You didn't choose it, but it became part of your identity anyway. And here's the wild part. Your RAS filters your entire adult life through that old emotional broadcast until you change it. This is why some people sabotage opportunities, why some people attract the same patterns, why some people feel stuck even when they're doing everything right. They're not manifesting a bad life. They're broadcasting from old emotional data they never processed. And this brings us directly, but let me warn you, when you hear it, you're going to think, that's too simple. And that's exactly why it controls everything. Here it is. You are unconsciously broadcasting the emotions you refuse to acknowledge. Not the emotions you express. Not the emotions you talk about. Not the emotions you post about. The emotions you suppress. Dismiss, push down, numb out. Ignore because I don't have time for this. The ones you pretend don't matter. Those are the ones shaping your identity. And identity shapes your reality. Let me say it clean. Your suppressed emotions are the frequency blocking your energy. Not because the universe is punishing you. Not because you're doing manifestation incorrectly. Not because you're low vibing, but because your RAS aligns your entire perception of reality. If you suppress fear, your RAS looks for threat. If you suppress sadness, your RAS filters for abandonment. If you suppress shame, your RAS highlights everything that proves you're not enough. If you suppress anger, your RAS filters for injustice, disrespect, or lack of control. That's the broadcast. That's the frequency. That's the mistake. And you're doing it unconsciously. But here's where things get interesting. If your emotions dictate your broadcast, then being alive means you are always signaling something, whether you intend to or not. Which means you can change your reality by changing your signal. Not in a mystical way, shift the frequency. So the real question becomes, how do we change the signal? How do we unblock the energy? How do we stop broadcasting from old programming? To answer those questions, we need to understand something that almost every manifestation coach ignores. Your energy isn't blocked because you're lazy, or unmotivated, or unhealed, or not in alignment. Your energy is blocked because your identity is trying to protect you. And identity is not who you think you are. Identity is who your nervous system believes you need to be to stay safe. This is why affirmations feel fake when you say them. This is why visualizations sometimes don't land. This is why you can logically want abundance, but emotionally feel terrified of it. Your conscious desires are not the problem. Your subconscious identity is. So here's the twist. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what feels familiar. And what feels familiar is determined by your past emotional broadcasts. Let me show you how deep this goes. There's a study from the University of Toronto that revealed something wild. When people feel certain emotions, especially fear, shame, or low self-worth, the parts of the brain responsible for possibility, creativity, and forward thinking literally shut down. Not metaphorically, not energetically, physically. It's like trying to stream a 4K video on 1 bar Wi-Fi. You can want it. You can click it. You can visualize it, but the internal signal won't load it. Your brain can only perceive options that are congruent with the emotional broadcast you're in. This is why people say, every time I try to level up, something pulls me back. It's not the universe testing you. It's not bad luck. It's not negative energy. It's your RAS filtering your reality through old emotional wounds. Identity freeze. And until you shift the emotional broadcast, nothing changes. Most people try to change their life from the outside in. Set goals, repeat affirmations, vision board, grind harder, try to think positive. But nothing changes because the broadcast underneath is still the same. It's like putting motivational wallpaper over a cracked foundation. The surface looks different, but the structure hasn't changed. Real change happens inside out. Before you change your thoughts, you must change the emotional signal driving those thoughts. Before you change habits, you must change the identity those habits are trying to protect. Before you manifest anything new, you must stop broadcasting from the version of you who never got it. So here's the real work, but removing the emotional static that keeps you stuck in your old self. Through neuroscience, psychology, and energetic research, 3 core suppressed emotions consistently block people's broadcast more than anything else. 1. Shame. I am not enough. Not smart enough, not deserving enough, not ready enough. Shame turns your RAS into a threat detector. Instead of opportunities, you see evidence you don't measure up. 2. Fear. Something bad will happen. Fear doesn't show up as terror. It shows up as overthinking, procrastination, avoidance, perfectionism, self-doubt. Feeling frozen. Fear tells your RAS, play small, stay safe. 3. Grief. Life has taken more than it has given. This one is sneaky. It's the unprocessed disappointment, sadness, or heartbreak that never got acknowledged. Grief tells your RAS, don't hope too much. These emotions become identity scripts, not consciously. And until they're processed, to change your signal, you only need to follow 3 steps. Not complicated, not mystical, just biologically aligned. Step 1. Become aware of the broadcast. Ask yourself, what emotion do I avoid the most? Whatever comes up, that's the one running your life. Not the loud emotions, the quiet ones, the ones you distract yourself from, the ones you don't name, the ones you don't want to feel because it's inconvenient. Awareness is not thinking about them. Awareness is admitting them. Step 2. Feel the emotion without the story. This is the part people get wrong. Feeling an emotion does not mean repeating the narrative around it. You don't need to analyze why you're angry or who hurt you or what your childhood story was. You only need to feel the sensation. Where does it sit in your body? Is it tight? Is it hot? Is it heavy? Is it shaky? When you feel the emotion without attaching meaning, the RAS updates the broadcast. It says, "Oh, we're safe feeling this now." And instantly, your perception begins to shift. Step 3. Replace the broadcast with identity embodiment. This is where everything transforms. Most people try to think their way into a new identity. But identity is not created through thought. Identity is created through signals. Your brain learns who you are from, how you speak to yourself, the micro choices you make, the emotional tone you operate in, the standards you hold, the energy you carry before you act. This is why embodiment works. When you feel and act like your future self now, your RAS changes your broadcast to match that version of you, and your reality reorganizes, not magically, mechanically. Because your brain cannot hold 2 identities at once. When the new broadcast becomes stronger than the old one, your life shifts automatically. There comes a moment, and you'll feel it, where something subtle but life-changing happens. Your old self stops feeling like you. You catch yourself reacting differently. You say things you've never said before. You feel emotions without collapsing. You don't chase. You don't beg. You don't fear loss. You don't shrink your dreams to match your old identity's limits. Instead, you start broadcasting from expansion, from worthiness, from clarity, from wholeness, from alignment. And that's the moment manifestation stops feeling forced and starts becoming natural. Because you're no longer trying to attract something. You're simply signaling that you're already the version of you who has it, and your reality updates accordingly. So now that you understand the mistake, the unconscious emotional broadcast shaping your entire life, we arrive at the question everyone gets wrong: how do I fix it? Most people try one of two things. They either try to think their way into a new identity, or they try to force their way into a new reality. But you can't outthink a suppressed emotion, and you can't out-hustle an old identity. The change happens in a different place entirely, not in the behavior, but in the signal. Because here's the truth: you don't manifest from your thoughts. You manifest from your baseline nervous system state. Meaning, your body, not your mind, is the transmitter. If your body feels unsafe, doubtful, ashamed, or unworthy, it will broadcast that signal no matter how many times you say, "I am confident." Affirmations don't override survival programming. Identity does, and identity changes when the broadcast changes. This is where 90% of manifestation work fails. Your brain does not upgrade through thinking. It upgrades through physical cues. Because your nervous system decides what feels normal, what feels safe, what feels true. To embody a new identity, you must send your body a new baseline signal. Here's how. Slow down your breathing into your stomach, signals safety. Lift your sternum slightly, signals confidence. Unclench your jaw, signals worthiness. Relax your shoulders, signals I am not under threat. Look straight ahead, signals clarity and readiness. These micro shifts seem small, but they broadcast something massive. I am becoming a new version of myself. Identity lives in the body, not the mind. And this brings us into the next part of the story. What happens when the broadcast finally changes? Here's the part that feels almost supernatural, but is actually psychological, biological, and energetic. Once your signal changes, your RAS updates your entire reality map. It starts filtering out old patterns, highlighting new opportunities, and aligning your perception with who you are becoming. This is why people say, ever since I healed, the right people just started showing up. Ever since I worked on myself, doors just opened. Ever since I stopped doubting myself, life started flowing. It's not luck. It's not magic. It's not coincidence. It's physics and biology. Because your RAS does two things instantly when your internal broadcast shifts. 1. It deletes old evidence. All the micro signals that used to trigger fear, lack, comparison, scarcity, or self-doubt. Stop being highlighted. Your brain literally stops showing them to you. Like changing a lens. 2. It starts looking for alignment. Your RAS seeks proof of whatever identity feels the most real to you. If your identity shifts from, I'm behind, to, I'm rising, your RAS highlights everything that confirms your rise. If your identity shifts from, I'm unworthy, to, I am becoming, your RAS finds the opportunities that match your becoming. Your external world doesn't change first. Your internal filter does. This is why the new path always appears. After the identity shift, never before. People think manifestation is about creating reality. It's not. It's about selecting a version of reality your brain was previously filtering out. Your dream life was always available. Your old broadcast just couldn't perceive it. Let's bring this full circle. The mistake blocking your energy was the suppressed emotion you refused to acknowledge. Once you bring it into awareness, shift the meaning, and install a new embodied baseline, your energy begins to flow again, not metaphorically, literally. Here's what you'll notice. 1. Your body feels lighter, because tension is emotion trying to escape. 2. Your intuition becomes clearer, because intuition is loudest when fear is quietest. 3rd, synchronicities increase. Not magic. Your RAS is highlighting aligned patterns. 4. People respond differently to you because your microsignals have changed. 5. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. They were always there. You just couldn't see them before. And perhaps the most powerful shift, you stop chasing and start attracting. Not because you're passive, but because your frequency is no longer fragmented. When your broadcast aligns with your identity aligns with your reality. This is the foundation of all manifestation. Not wishful thinking, not blind optimism, not fake it till you make it, but energetic coherence. A nervous system that signals, I am safe to receive. A mind that signals, I am worthy to have. A body that signals, I am the version who succeeds. That is when life begins to reshape around you, instead of you pushing against it. That is when energy unblocks. That is when alignment starts. That is when everything starts to flow. If you take nothing else from this video, remember this. Your reality isn't responding to your desires. It's responding to your broadcast. Change the signal dash, and your entire life rearranges itself to match the frequency of who you decide to become.